Hi everyone and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. This reading is intended for the sign of Capricorn. We're looking at your love life for the next few weeks. If you're watching for Capricorn, please reverse the roles because it'll feel as though I'm speaking to you about your Capricorn. So I've shuffled the deck, I've pulled your cards, and Capricorn, it feels like these next few weeks are going to be a little bit emotionally dysregulating to you. Because I'm seeing that you're somebody who likes to be really in control of like all situations in your life. Right? And that control, that need for control is stopping you from being able to open up your heart and be happy. I feel like you're realizing this about yourself, right? There's kind of this energy of you having an epiphany, having an awakening. Because as I'm looking at your cards, I'm seeing that you've manifested a situation that you would have to change for it to be able to like get off the ground, right? I think in the past with this connection, whatever this was, like it seems like it's been a thing for a while. This isn't someone new. You came into this and you knew who you were. You knew what you wanted and where you were going. And it's like everything about this situation kind of knocked you off your square, right? And even though it felt right, it felt good, it felt like exactly where you needed to be and what you should be doing, it was so out of your character, like whatever the situation required you to be. It made you feel really uncomfortable, right? Not because of the person, not because of anything that they did in particular, but it's like you were feeling all these feelings that you're not used to feeling. I think for you Capricorn, you have a tendency to like shut off anything that makes you feel something other than what like your baseline is. Because you like to be in control, you know? So it's like if something makes you too upset, you don't want to pay attention to it. If something makes you too happy, you don't want to pay attention to it. There's always kind of this fear that when you're feeling joy, it's going to run out and you'll be disappointed. I'm not really sure where that came from. Oh, okay. So this looks like you had a Oh, it seems like this was something about your family of origin. It seems like your safety or like the love that you were receiving got disrupted. You could be a child who dealt with parents who were separated, like got a divorce. And you like dealt with the aftermath of that, like seeing how sad one of your parents was. It looks like one parent may have moved on quickly while another one just kind of stayed in that energy, like that hurt energy, until it made them sick, you know, or they lost everything just because they never like moved on from this whatever this was. If you didn't have parents got a divorce, it could also be that you lost a family member and there was a like part of your family, a person in your family that like grieved that loss to the point that they never recovered. They never felt joy again. And it's almost like whatever it was that happened in your family dynamic, right? You couldn't feel joy. You know, maybe you were reminded as a child, like, nothing is forever, right? Or people disappoint you, or you know, whatever it is that you love, you'll lose it because everything is temporary. You know, there's kind of that feeling of like you always needing to be in control of your feelings. You know, you don't want to get your hopes up. You don't want to feel too good. You certainly don't want it to be like, if you are feeling good, you don't want it to be because of anyone else, because you feel like you can't control what people do, you know, and people are fallible. They have a tendency to disappoint, you know, and so there's this energy where you only bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Like when things are good, you're always looking at like the next thing that could be bad. and you're, instead of like enjoying the good time or enjoying the company or the person, you're like stealing yourself for when that job lays you off, or when that person makes you feel something other than what you're feeling in that moment. Like, I'm not saying you're a glass half empty person at all, but you're also very much like, I'm not going to let my environment dictate my actions or my feelings, And so when you met this person, it really knocked you off your square. You got super dysregulated. And I feel like you put your walls up very quickly. You guarded yourself. It seems like maybe you very quickly stopped dealing with them, or you started trying to like date other people, because it's almost like you're trying to understand, like, is this person what's bringing me so much joy, or is it just attention? And so you may not realize this, because when you did this, you came off as like a player, or like really non-committal, or like somebody who was just kind of using that person to feel good and then moved on to the next very quickly, or wouldn't make them a priority. But in reality, you were trying to like collect information, and you were trying to understand why you felt the way you felt. Like, is it this person that's making me feel this way? Is it just dating that's making me feel this way? I can't just fall for this one person. I need options. I need to not make this person a priority, because if they become my everything and they leave, I'll be destroyed, right? And this could have even been like on a subconscious level that you decided to do this, to prove to yourself that you were still in control, to prove to yourself that you still had power over yourself, because you didn't want to lose yourself in this connection, The sad part here, though, is that while you were doing these things to try to protect yourself or make yourself feel better, this person got an idea about you that isn't accurate. They went off of what they saw, and I'm not seeing you being vulnerable enough to conversate about what's going on with you, So this person didn't really have a lot to go on. They just saw like how you started acting, and they took that at face value of like, okay, Capricorn's a player. Capricorn doesn't want anything serious. Capricorn was just looking for a good time. And it seems like this person created distance, or not even that they created distance, but like you actually were the one that created the distance, and they didn't move towards you to close the distance. That's a better way to put it, right? In your travels, however, you realized what you have with this person. You've seen people, you've dated other people since this, and you've realized that even like people that seem like they have more than this other person, or maybe in the eyes of society, they're more beautiful than this other person, or successful, or whatever, they don't compare to whoever this is. It's like you sitting on a date with somebody that is like a 10 by all standards, and you're thinking about this other person. You're wondering what they're doing. You're wondering, are they happy? Are they sad? Who are they spending time with? Did they move? Are they in a relationship? Right? Like you're thinking about what it would be like to be sitting at the table with the person that you're missing instead of the person that you're with. And you're a very rational person, you're realizing that this is something bigger than what you thought it was. You're realizing that this is something that you can't walk away from as easily as you had thought. And you're coming to the conclusion that it's like, you have to face your fears. Because I think that what people don't realize about you is that you view people who allow their emotions to run them as being weak. And so your fear to like be open to whoever this is you are seeing that as a weakness inside of you that you need to deal with. It's not just like people who fall in love are weak because they're allowing their emotions to dictate the show. It's also the realization of like people who avoid falling in love are weak because they're allowing their emotions to dictate the show, right? And that irks you, that bothers you. You have like a real thing about allowing your fears to stop you, or allowing even your desires to compel you. You don't like to be ruled by any emotion. You want to get on top of it and feel like you're in control of it. And so now that you realize that this is something that's not going away, you realize that you actually have a fear of making things work with this person. It's almost like it's starting to really irritate you and you feel like you have to put work into the connection that you keep thinking about, right? But that's going to require you to do things that you may not feel comfortable doing, And I think that enough time has gone by since you were really in this person's space that you're looking forward to trying to be with this person again because you really do care about them. You really do miss them. But enough time has gone by that you've had kind of this perspective shift where it's like, okay, I see what life is like without them and I don't want that. I know that I will have to do things I'm not comfortable with. But now that I've gotten some distance to really think about it, like I'm being, like a fraidy cat or whatever, like I'm not accepting the challenge to rise to the occasion if I ignore this. So it's going to be confusing for this person. I want you to understand that because it took you so long to like get into the mode of going hard for this situation that they've already kind of gotten an idea about who they think you are. And they've already gotten an idea about how you made them feel when you disconnected, And so like, I'm seeing a little bit of an issue here because you're excited to do the work. You're excited to be vulnerable and to be open because that's your way of taking control of the situation and getting on top of it is like, yeah, I'm going to face this head on, right? You don't want the connection with this person to end. And you really hope that they can see your perspective. You also hope that they're still single or that they've kind of been waiting for you. And there's a real hope that they'll forgive you as well, right? The thing is like this person's kind of got their guard up now. And I see that could deter you because you coming in and being emotionally available is already such a big deal that you having to like now fight this person to let you love them might be a little more than you can bear just because it's like, that's not what I prepared myself for. I prepared myself to come in, to be available and to be vulnerable. And now you don't even want me to be vulnerable. And I just took the last 8 years. I'm just kidding. Probably not 8 years, but like, I just took all this time, like pep talking myself and gearing up and maybe you even did like research, right? About like why you feel the way you feel or how to be more open or, whatever, right? But it's like you're returning to a situation that is different than what you thought it would be. I think in your mind, you kind of hope this person would have like open arms and be so excited. And instead, it's like they're not reciprocating the way that you had played it out. You know what I mean? That's a tough one, but like you're Earth sign. So it just takes you a little bit longer to make the decision and take the action. This person, they don't seem interested. They don't seem like they want to fight for this, I do see you trying to pay more attention to this situation, being more communicative, because in the past, maybe you were not so good at like texting back or, You would like leave somebody on red, or, I see you making the effort to show this person that you want to be around. The obstacle here though is that this person has their guard up now. They're having a really hard time understanding you. And something you could consider is that you haven't really given this person an inside look at you. And I know that that's another thing that is like, oh my God, if they know my strategy, I'm at a disadvantage. If this person knows me, they can anticipate my next move and I'm at a disadvantage. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're so strategic about everything that it's like you're following kind of a playbook. And when this person doesn't automatically reciprocate, it's like you're going to want to shut this down because it is actually like affirming what you subconsciously believe about like being emotionally available or being in love, being scary or a detriment or a liability. You get what I'm saying? Your opportunity is that if you could understand that through your actions, this person felt betrayed, because they felt the same connection to you that you felt to them. And they didn't understand why you just very quickly pulled away, or how could we have this connection? And then not only do you start ignoring me, but you go off with other people. You have to give this person room to like process what happened. And I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to reach your goal, it would be helpful. You should also consider, with your Knight of Swords in the reverse, is there a way that you could clue this person into your thought process, the way you move, that feels safe for you, but could also help to explain to them that you're not a player or you're not a risk, or you get what I'm saying? Because this person is viewing you as being a risk. Like, yeah, last time I invested in you and we hit it off, you dipped and then you were with somebody in, the Caribbean on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to require you to do even more than what you thought if you're serious about this. You could have an opportunity with this person, but it's not going to be what you thought, where you can just like come in and then show them all this available, oh, I love you, I realize you mean the world to me. It's not going to resonate with them. They're not going to believe you, because your actions haven't matched. But if you could explain to them why you behaved the way you did or why you did what you did, it's possible that they could put the past behind the two of you and start fresh, But again, that's going to require you to suspend this belief of like, love is dangerous and people will betray you, and here I am coming in and I've got all these emotions and I'm just getting shut down and this is what I try to avoid, right? You're going to have to suspend that, right? The same way that you're asking this person to suspend judgment of the way you acted in the past, So it's a little bit tricky. I think you could do this. I think you can make this work. But it's going to require you to reassess your beliefs and kind of suspend like that final judgment of like, see, this is exactly what I knew would happen. I got hurt and da 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 da. You get what I'm saying? Like, try not to shut down, because you don't want this person to shut down. You know what I mean? And like, if you can't give this person room and hold space for their feelings of like, okay, well, I don't know what happened and now you're back and I don't know how to feel, you can't expect this person to hold space for you when you're talking about how you got triggered and left. You get what I mean? All right, let me get you an oracle card. I'm hoping this works out for you because I see the changes that you're trying to make. And, this is not a small feat to just put yourself in a situation that's not comfortable. especially when this is like how you've survived for so long, right? So you got transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Bottom of the deck, soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. I love that for you. You just keep trying, Capricorn. You're doing a really good job. I know this is tough. I hope this reading was able to shed some light on your partner and kind of where they're at so you have a better understanding. I will speak to you again soon, but in the meantime, take very good care of yourself. Bye.